studios in West Billings, Montana. Glad you're here joining us. Our replay
Mayor Call with Mayor Tom Hannell, City of Billings. First of all, I was just looking over, waiting for your phone call, looking over the City of Billings vision statement. The Magic City, a diverse, welcoming community where people prosper and business succeeds. That's pretty cool. I don't think a lot of Billings residents knows about that vision statement. Maybe you can speak to that for a second.
You know, Larry, I'd be happy to, and I'll say this, that being a part of the draft of that vision statement gives me great honor, and we've tried very hard to adhere to those specific terms. And the question of how many people are familiar with it, I guess I would respond with the fact that I wonder how many local citizens that have the ability to view our website, the City of Billings website, because obviously our mission statement is clearly publicized on our website, but all of our documents, our letterhead, our agenda for our meetings, things such as that, it's on all of that. So we try to get the word out the best we can. We promote it very strong. We try to abide by it in our everyday activity or business activities having to do with City of Billings. So it's a very good point. I would love it if it came up more often for discussion.
Yeah, well, maybe we can push that through the rest of the year here from time to time at your meetings. But it's just a great vision statement. I thought I'd bring it up today on the show, so there you go.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It took a lot of energy and some thinking, and several of us got together and decided that would be the most appropriate words to do business by.
So talk about the new City of Billings website. How's that development coming?
It is developed. It's in operation. We're getting a lot of favorable comments. It's a little more detailed than the previous website. You've got to follow it a little bit closer. Once you navigate your way through the initial opening, the information waiting for you is just phenomenal. There's anything and everything you ever need to know or learn about the City of Billings. Put you in contact with any specific city department for services and whatnot. So far, it's coming across very well. A lot of favorable comments.
So the City of Billings City Council had a work session on Tuesday because of the holiday. On July 5th, you have the work session, and there's been some discussion about a couple of traffic issues, if I can phrase it that way, the feasibility study.
Exactly. Yes, we did have. First of all, we started off with the Rimrocks to Valley bicycle pedestrian feasibility study, and this is through, of course, our planning department, our traffic engineers, but also with the assistance of Sanderson Stewart Engineering here in Billings. So a very professional document, very lengthy, many pages, but what it comes down to is the use of the rims, which, of course, everyone knows the rims when we speak of Billings, and the increased use as far as pedestrian traffic, bicycle type activity, and the accessibility of the rims. Presently, there's Zimmerman Trail and there's North 27th Street.
Right.
And if you're speaking of whether you're walking, jogging, biking up either one of those, it can be very dangerous. They're very narrow passageways. There's a lot of traffic, and 27th Street, for example, has high-speed traffic. So what we're looking at is, with the increased usage and demand, how can we better serve our citizens by creating more safe ways of getting up and down the rims. Interesting enough, a lot of people may not be aware, there is near 17th Street West, north of Rimrock Road, there is a trail that takes you up the face of the rims. It's not in the best condition, but years ago it was used quite often, well known. So our plan is to address a trail on Zimmerman Trail, which would skirt along Zimmerman Trail, in other words, to the side. And then, of course, the same with North 27th Street. There's a trail that's along adjacent to the highway, off of the highway. And, of course, some discussion of painting the bike lane on the highway. That received quite a bit of, quite a bit of discussion. And then improving the trail that goes in off of 17th Street West, which, as I say, many people are not familiar with. All of those cost money, so we're going to continue our study, do some research on some available funding, and see if we can't enhance those to better serve our users.
You know, because usage of those areas you speak of, Mayor Hennel, will only increase over time. They're not going to decrease, so I think this is a good plan moving forward.
Well, that's just it. And, the rims of Landmark, they're used more and more often. We have a very good trail along the rims on the east side from 27th Street, North 27th, down to Main Street, but we don't have the best of access to the west of there. So all of this comes together within this study, and that's exactly what it is. No decision's been made. No money on improvements has been spent. Nothing's been even presented for approval. This is just a study to see what we can do, if there's any way to improve accessibility, make it safer for our users.
What was the public comment? Any public comment at the work session?
Actually, there weren't that many there to comment on Tuesday evening. So to share public comments on this, I don't believe there were any. However, there has been the ability to respond to a online survey, to attend meetings, several of which were organized by our planning department, and they had very good response, very good turnout at meetings, and I would say that the far majority are in favor of improving accessibility.
What kind of response have you had, good, bad, the ugly, about the business affected by the Grand Avenue construction, the lack of business? And I know we've talked about this a little bit. I feel for those businesses over there, and I try to frequent them as much as I can off of Grand Avenue there.
Exactly, and I appreciate that, Larry, and I hope that we have some listeners that will do the same thing. Construction is very inconvenient. It's very costly, and it creates very much an inconvenience for businesses. In this particular case, the businesses out on Grand Avenue, this is a busy time of year for some of them. They rely upon the walk-in business, and this has been a serious effect. So it did come up for discussion Tuesday evening with the request that we try everything we can to create accessibility through there for traffic, even if temporary, but to get traffic flowing more so to help these businesses. We need them and they need us, and that's how Billings has grown and succeeded. And when they basically do not have access for an extended period of time, it's very serious, very detrimental.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, Mayor Tom Hannell with Mayor Call from the City of Billings, and we will get together and discuss more City of Billings business next week, certainly.
Well, hey there, how are you? LivinLargeLarry.com, and away we go, Livin Large Larry Live. At the website, you can check out the TuneIn smartphone app, as well as we're on YouTube this morning, and that becomes the podcast later on here. For the show from Billings, Montana, the Red Line Computer Studios in West Billings, across from Goodwill, the Red Line Computer Studios each morning. Which have been news around Montana mainly, and the topics that's covered the nation and the world as well. Thank you to the 1,700 average listeners and streamers that check us out each month. About 60 Billings now. Cindy Graff and her crew at N2 Cryotherapy, 805 24th Street West, suite number 4, is excited about the evolution and the growth of N2 Cryotherapy. They've been in Billings, N2 Cryotherapy, since last July, and business is growing. And as of right now, she's targeting athletes, as in high school athletes or college or professional, for the wellness therapy out called cryotherapy. You can learn a little bit more about cryotherapy at n2cryo.com. N2 Cryotherapy, the only one in this region. N2 Cryotherapy, 805 24th Street West, suite number 4.
Jay Johansson with us, the Athlete's Foot, 3839 Grand Avenue in Billings. The Athlete's Foot, Jay.
We also got the Jordans. I'm talking about the Jordans that everyone's waiting to get. In my store right now, in my case, are the French Blue 12s.
Jay, the Athlete's Foot in Billings is the Jordan King.
Oh, yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. I was just telling another one of your friends that not only we're a hip store that services the community. You got that?
Yeah.
We're a hip, family-owned shoe store that if you just need great shoes, come see us. If you need the best shoes,
come see us. If you need the shoes no one else has, and I'm talking no one living large, Larry, as you know.
Yeah.
I'm talking no one in Billings. I'm talking no one in Denver. No one in Minneapolis. No one in Seattle. We got it. Because my big brother, my owner, Intersport, check them out, largest sporting good company store in the world. They got us the account. We're number one.
I wear the books. I wear the Jordan. My family shops the Athlete's Foot, 3839 Grand Avenue, J. Thank you very much, sir.
Hey, living large, Larry, keep it up. You need great shoes, you know where to come. 3839 Grand Avenue, the Athlete's Foot.
And the Athlete's Foot on Facebook, too. Don't forget about Facebook, the Athlete's Foot on Facebook.
The Athlete's Foot, Billings MT. Check us out. Peace.
Livin' Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin' Large Larry live.
Our sourcing for newscast on Livin' Large Larry live at livinlargelarry.com, from KTVQ.com, Color8.com this morning, also the Billings Gazette, and State News Runner Brian Bennett, Northern News Network. St. Vincent Healthcare in Billings reporting about 4 dozen people will lose their jobs. Statement says on Tuesday, indicating it will reduce its staff by nearly 50 positions and will close its daycare facility on October 14th of this year. The statement says hospital leaders saying they're looking for ways to adapt to a transforming healthcare industry with a focus on creating value for the patient by reducing costs and improving outcomes. The hospital adds the effort is resulting in new programs and services. With that change come decisions to discontinue certain services and do things differently at St. Vincent Healthcare in Billings. St. Vincent Healthcare leaders indicate while the layoffs are difficult, the actions will ensure the hospital will remain strong and well-positioned for the future. Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks has lifted angling restrictions on sections of the Big Hole, Ruby, and Beaverhead rivers as a result of cooler weather and precipitation. Restrictions will remain in place on other southwest Montana rivers for the near future. The Bozeman Yellowstone International Airport has been awarded a $2.3 million federal grant to help cover the cost of building a new runway. The additional runway will help improve congestion during peak traffic periods out of the Bozeman International Airport. Crews continue the search Tuesday for the missing 12-year-old Lockwood girl in Water Canal near Huntley. A K-9 team is in the area again. The canal was searched by helicopter with results. Wednesday, multiple agencies will gear up for an even larger search for Tava Hawkins, who's been missing since Saturday. The effort will include loading the water once again while raking and walking sections of the diversion dam canal near the area she was lost. The entire length of the canal will be searched, including the clean-out area near Ballantyne. The search area is roughly 11 miles in length, according to Yellowstone County Sheriff Mike Linder. That search continues. Damage claims for Montana crops due to hail have nearly double what they've been in recent years. From January to May, farmers submitted 200 insurance claims. Claims from June haven't yet been counted, but officials usually receive only about 100 through early July. The Department of Agriculture's hail program will cover the claims. And Montana has been honored in Wine Spectator's 2016 Restaurant Awards, which highlight restaurants around the world that offer the best wine selections. The complete list of the 13 in Montana is featured in the August issue of that magazine. The Billings Depot is a hot spot for sending weddings and events. That quickly became a problem. The historic facility was literally hot because its commercial heating and air conditioning unit failed. So a Billings family with a big heart made a large donation to the Billings Depot, offering a check donation of $12,900 to cover the cost of fixing the cooling system. The Decker family, who owns Briggs, met with Depot staff on Tuesday to present the check. John Decker said he chose to make the donation because he had actually experienced the uncomfortable heat himself at an event at the Billings Depot. It is never wrong to give back. That's a pretty nice donation. A civil rights complaint filed in federal district court this week alleges officers from the Wolf Point Police Department and the Fort Peck Department of Law and Justice engaged in mass detention of Wolf Point's street people beginning on July 12, 2013. A complaint filed on behalf of 31 plaintiffs saying they were denied basic civil rights. That's at first glance and news around Billings, surrounding communities, and in Montana at livinlargelarry.com. Or we're on YouTube. Thanks for using the TuneIn smartphone app on your smartphones to broadcast from the Red Line Computer Studios next to the Wave Car Wash off King and 29th Street West in Billings. A couple of cool days and a pretty mild week, actually. Our forecast from Top Sandwich Company, locally owned in Billings, across from Shopko with happy hour each weekday evening from 5 until 8 p.m. and all sandwiches at that time at Top's Sandwich Company on $5. Top Sandwich Company across from Shopko in Billings. So between 65 and 70 for a couple of days here, and closer to the upper 70s to mid to upper 80s towards the mid to latter part of the week, and a chance for some showers and thunderstorms each late afternoon, evening as well. Cools things down a little bit from the last couple of weeks. Get an expanded look at the forecast. Log on to livinlargelarry.com. Click on the weather tab at the website's forecast. Brought to you by Top's Sandwich Company, locally owned in Billings, across from Shopko off of King Avenue West. Top's Sandwich Company. Free delivery, even one sandwich at Top's Sandwich Company. Carrie's Massage. Yeah, new place for a massage. Carrie's Massage. Check her out. And she's at 928 Broadwater, Suite number 204. Been open for a couple of months now and offering great services. Swedish, deep tissue, hot stone, prenatal massage. Not every massage therapist does prenatal massage. Carrie's Massage does. And if you're a new customer, and you get $10 off any offer, any service that Carrie's Massage has available for you. Carrie's Massage, you can check them out on Facebook, and the walk-ins are fine. 928 Broadwater, and going Suite number 204 for Carrie's Massage. $10 off. Time for a haircut? Try Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in the Heights if you want truly trained. I mean, these guys are trained barbers for straight razor shaves, or if you just want just a haircut. $10 for a basic haircut. Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in the Heights. The best $10 haircut ever, and they don't take up a lot of time either. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, $10. Great haircut. Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in Billings Heights, and proud sponsors and supporters of the 2016 Billings Wolves. It's Jim and Austin's Barbershop. We'll look at what's going on around Billings and surrounding communities. What's going on segment. It's brought to you by Bighorn Inspection, refinery, petrochemical refinery inspection, bighorninspection.com, and a family event at Moss Mansion for good reason. General Richter will join us on my afternoon show on KGHL on Tuesday. That's on the way. livinlargelarry.com. So broadcast from Red Line Computer Studios in West Billings. livinlargelarry.com, live on YouTube. It seems everywhere you look there's values, there's coupons for this, coupons for that. But if you want the true value, get Hometown Values. Get it? Well, it's mailed to your home. Thousands get the Hometown Values magazine, and it is the real size of the magazine. It's not the size of the palm of your hand. And look through it. Practical items, Hometown Values for each section of our area. Hometown Values, Billings and Laurel. It's probably on your counter right now, by the way, or your mailbox. Log on to myhometownvalues.com.
Livin Large Larry live from the Red Line Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry live.
What is going on around town? Courtesy of Bighorn Inspection. BighornInspection.com. That's coming up here. Our replay sponsor on Livin Large Larry Live is brought to you by Keystone Mortgage in their new location, 248-7124. And you can check them out and visit them at 2442 First Avenue North, then right across from the pump station in downtown Billings. Keystone Mortgage Company. You aren't just a number, you're our number one priority. Keystone Mortgage.
Jenna Richter with us, Executive Director, Moss Mansion. So 30 years for the Preservation Society and 113 years for Moss Mansion. Wow, history.
Yes, these are some really big milestones this year.
So since you've been there, Jenna, which is how long now?
5 years.
What kind of changes have you seen, and what is the coolest thing so far about 113 years of Moss Mansion that you're like, wow, that's pretty cool?
I think one of the great things about 113 years and 30 years as being a public museum is that it just kind of keeps getting bigger and better. We are attracting larger crowds than we have in a long time. We have a lot more going on. So we have specialty tours and can take people behind the scenes now at the Moss Mansion. We have really fun events and fundraisers that we do, like Halloween and our haunted house outside and our Twilight tours inside. We just really are, this is a pretty creative group over here. We have some phenomenal volunteers, and it's just amazing to stand back and see what all of these individuals have accomplished from the very beginning all the way up until now.
Is it also cool to see like tourists from around the country and even out of the country, their reaction to certain aspects of Moss Mansion on a tour or something?
Yes, in fact, we recently just had a TripAdvisor review, which was phenomenal. I mean, they said this is one of their top 5 museums that they've ever come to, is a historic house museum, and I of course work up in the maids' quarters, but I love when I can hear snippets of people on the stairs going on tour and different accents, and sometimes we have non-speaking guests, but there's something that everyone can take away from this incredible house and the history that's right here in our backyard.
So I know you work there every day, so is it usually once, twice, 3 times a week, maybe more, maybe less, that you find something new with Moss Mansion or learn something new?
Absolutely, all the time. We are really working very hard, especially on the 3rd floor where everything has been archived over the years, and really discovering what we have. It's just a treasure trove up here. So as we discover it, we're excited to kind of bring it out and share it with the public.
So celebrating 113 years Moss Mansion, give us the fun itinerary for this Sunday afternoon, July 17th.
Yes, from 1 to 4, we figured why not have a nice big birthday party to celebrate the Moss Mansion being around for so long. So we have children's activities that are going to be provided by the Wise Wonders Children's Museum. We're excited to be working with them. We'll have a photo booth. You can't have a birthday party without cupcakes, so we'll be doing cupcakes. The Girl Scouts will be here with a lemonade stand. You're going to be here.
I'll be cranking out the hits for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited. It'll be really festive, and we also have Sweet Adelines and the Big Sky Men's Chorus. So from 1 to 4 is just a party out on the grounds, and the house will be open to the public for free. You can come in and tour the house, have a cupcake, listen to music, dance with you. It's going to be a good time.
And lemonade stand assisted by Girl Scout Troop 2292. Very tasty.
Yes. Yeah, I'm getting ready for that.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You mentioned the photo booth, but Moss Mansion's going a little further in a photo booth with props. Nothing better than a picture with props. You can kind of play dress up a little bit.
Exactly. We have some fun hats that we keep up on the 3rd floor for our tours and our girls that like to get dressed up. So you can wear a lovely floppy hat.
Celebration open house 1 to 4 this coming Sunday, July 17th. So after church, head down to Moss Mansion. It's going to be a beautiful weekend weather-wise. I checked for you in advance with Ed McIntosh, just so you know. So you're perfect for the weather. Yeah.
Guaranteed, right?
Okay, I will guarantee it. If it doesn't come through, then I blame Ed McIntosh.
Exactly. There we go.
That sounds fair to me. All right, Jenna Richter, any final thoughts on our talk here?
Oh, just come on over. We're excited to see everyone and celebrate a really wonderful birthday for the Moss Mansion.
And for those who are visiting in town or just new to the area, what is the address of Moss Mansion? Where can they park?
We are located at 914 Division Street, and because we take up the big portion of that block, you can park on the side streets right up next to the Moss on Yellowstone or Clark Avenues.
Sounds fun. 1 to 4 Sunday afternoon, 113 years of Moss Mansion, 30 years for the Preservation Society. Great celebration. Looking forward to it. Jenna Richter, thanks for your time.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Couple of cool days and a pretty mild week, actually. Our forecast from Top Sandwich Company, locally owned in Billings across from Shopco, with happy hour each weekday evening from 5 until 8 p.m. And all sandwiches at that time at Top's Sandwich Company are $5. Top Sandwich Company across from Shopco in Billings. So between 65 and 70 for a couple of days here, and closer to the upper 70s to mid to upper 80s towards the mid to latter part of the week. And a chance for some showers and thunderstorms each late afternoon, evening as well. Cools things down a little bit from the last couple of weeks. Get an expanded look at the forecast. Log on to livinlargelarry.com. Click on the weather tab at the website's forecast. Brought to you by Top's Sandwich Company, locally owned in Billings, across from Shopco off of King Avenue West. Top's Sandwich Company. Free delivery, even one sandwich at Top's Sandwich Company. Best Patio as well, top sandwich company. Smart Strand Forever Clean, the world's toughest carpet, and it is available at Rimrock Flooring on Central Avenue. RimrockFlooringMT.com, as Mark Wilton and his staff are into year number 2 of doing business in the flooring industry in Billings. Rimrock Flooring, RimrockFlooringMT.com. 1440 Central Avenue. Ask about Smart Strand. Swiss Trax Inc. offers a practical and modern alternative to standard concrete and epoxy garage flooring and garage floor tiles as well. Swiss Trax. Look at the samples at Rimrock Flooring in Billings. A quote from Brown's Automotive here in Billings. We promise you cost-effective solutions to get you back in the driver's seat. If you want true experience and dedication to the craft of auto repair, Brown's Automotive. For over 60 years now, Brown's Auto Service has delivered rockstar customer service. 4 locations around Billings. Brown's Auto Service on Broadwater, Brown's West Auto Service, corner of Rosebud and 20th Street. A couple of Brown's locations downtown. The Automatic Transmission Company is at 13th Street North and 1st Avenue North, and Brown's Rebuild Center is downtown, 18th Street North and 2nd Avenue North. Brown's Automotive in Billings. BrownsAutoBillings.com. What is happening? Segment from Bighorn Inspection, Petrochemical and Refinery Inspection, BighornInspection.com. Zoo Montana, in association with Exit Realty, Yellowstone, Boys and Rose Clubs, and part of the host to Post Home Inspection, Texas Roadhouse, Terry Porta, Lingering Love Studios, teamed up to raise some money for the zoo, and obtain sports equipment for the Boys and Rose Club. The Exit Realty Smart Car is filled with sporting goods and equipment. And your job is to guess how many items are packed into the car, and the proceeds go directly to Zoo Montana. So July 20th and 21st, the Exit Realty Smart Car will be out at Shields in Billings, 3 to 8 p.m. both days. In Texas Roadhouse on July 22nd, Saturday and Sunday, July 23rd and July 24th, the Exit Realty Smart Car, packed with goods, via Zoo Montana from 10 to 4. We'll choose a winner at each location throughout the 5 days. That is coming up. Fundraiser for Zoo Montana Boys and Girls Clubs begins on the 20th. It's on the way. Sounds like a fun promotion. There's an open house at Moss Mansion, 113 years old. Moss Mansion is 30 years for the Preservation Society. We had a talk with Jim Richter from Moss Mansion. The event is coming up this Sunday, not Saturday. It's Sunday afternoon, 1 to 4, with an open house. Kids' activities provided by Wise Wonders Children's Museum, photo booth with props and bake sale going on. Big Sky Ben's Chorus and Sweet Adelines will perform. I'll be there cranking out some hits, playing the DJ for the 3 hours, 1 to 4 Sunday at Moss Mansion. Lemonade stand, assisted by Girl Scout Troop 2292, and cupcakes to celebrate the 113th birthday of Moss Mansion. So that's what's going on. Brought to you by Bighorn Inspection, BighornInspection.com.
Livin Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry live.
12-year-old Lockwood girl presumed drowned. I'm Livin Large Larry, KGHL News. The search continues for a 12-year-old girl who is missing and presumed drowned in an irrigation canal near Huntley. Yellowstone County officials say Tava Hawkins of Lockwood was swimming with 2 other girls near the Huntley Diversion Dam on Saturday evening. She did not emerge after going into one of the tunnels that drains into the district canal. Sheriff Mike Linder says the search on Monday spanned a 10-mile stretch of the canal, including a cleanup area near Ballantyne, where a piece of equipment tends to bring things to the surface. Divers with underwater cameras searched the canal on Monday. The state health department has reduced the fee it charges to obtain or renew a medical marijuana card from $75 a year to $5 a year. The old fee brought in more money than was needed to operate the registry. The lower fee went into effect on Sunday. Montana had about 13,000 medical marijuana card holders in June, down from a high of about 30,000 in 2011. Now, beginning on August 31st, Montana medical marijuana caregivers will be limited to 3 patients. An 18-year-old Helena man made his initial appearance on a deliberate homicide charge that he fatally shot a man while pistol whipping another man. Bail was set at $200,000 for Austin Kroll McLaughlin, who was charged with killing Ryan Aiken on July 7th. Prosecutors and defense attorneys say 4 of the 5 people accused of smuggling drugs into Montana State Prison plan to plead guilty. Federal prosecutors say an inmate persuaded a prison laundry worker to smuggle meth into the prison to be sold to other inmates. Agreements must be accepted by a judge now. A campaign in Glacier National Park was temporarily evacuated after a man from Helena fired a shot into the air from his tent. Park officials say officers negotiated with the man and eventually got him to drop his gun. Rangers say the man may have been disoriented due to prescription medication. University of Montana offered a $70,000 signing bonus to the vice president recently hired to increase the school's enrollment. The State Board of Regents is holding a telephone conference meeting on July 19th to approve salaries for a handful of administrators and the hiring bonus for Tom Crady, UM's new Vice President of Enrollment and Student Affairs. UM announced his hiring back in April. Under guidelines passed by the Regents in 2006, recruitment signing bonuses should typically be 10% of salary or $5,000, whichever is higher. Next Saturday, hundreds of bicyclists are expected to join a celebratory ride from Hamilton to Missoula on the newly completed Bitterroot Trail. It'll honor the 40th anniversary of its founding event. The non-motorized trail connects Missoula with Hamilton. A man died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound in Polbridge. The officers from the Flathead County Sheriff's Office and U.S. Border Patrol were attempting to talk him to safety Sunday night. The incident is under investigation by the Flathead County Sheriff's Office. Sports. San Antonio Spurs' Tim Duncan has retired following a 19-year NBA career, including 5 championships, the first overall pick in '97 draft, as a 3-time NBA Most Valuable Player and was selected to 15 All-Star games. Duncan is one of 3 players to win at least 1,000 games during his career. He ranks 14th. A glance at state and regional news and sports. Part of Montana at 5 and the mighty 790 AM and 94.7 FM KGHL. I'm Livin Large Larry. Carrie's Massage. Yeah, new place for a massage. Carrie's Massage. Check her out. And she's at 928 Broadwater, Suite number 204. Been open for a couple of months now and offering great services. Swedish, deep tissue, hot stone, prenatal massage. Not every massage therapist does prenatal massage. Carrie's Massage does. And if you're a new customer, and you get $10 off any offer, any service that Carrie's Massage has available for you. Carrie's Massage, you can check them out on Facebook, and the walk-ins you can find 928 Broadwater and going Suite number 204 for Carrie's Massage. $10 off. New season, new haircuts. If it's time, I get my haircut every 6 weeks from Jim and Austin's Barber Shop in Billings Heights at 2225 Main Street in the Heights. The best $10 haircut you'll ever have. And Jim and Austin's Barber Shop, they're trained to be barbers. Basic haircut, $10, 10 minutes in and out. Jim and Austin's Barber Shop, 2225 Main in the Billings Heights. Proud supporters of the Billings Wolves for 2016. And like them on Facebook, Jim and Austin's Barber Shop in Billings Heights. Best Coupon Magazine, truly in and around Billings, with an issue for different areas around Billings. Coupons that fit where you live. Hometown Values. Hometown Values Savings Magazine. If you check your mail, from time to time you'll see it. It's going to show up in your mailbox. Hometown Values Savings Magazine. Check out the new Heights edition. Also the newest Billings Laurel edition is out as well. Hometown Values with practical couponing in the magazine. Hometown Values. How's your health? Is your mind open to different ways to be healthier? N2 cryotherapy. You've heard us talk about cryotherapy since about mid-November. And N2 cryotherapy has been in Billings since last July. And it's growing with athletes. If you are suffering from arthritis, give N2 cryotherapy a try.
Ask Cindy Graff about the pricing differences of N2 Cryotherapy. There's something to fit your budget. N2 Cryotherapy, 805 24th Street West, Suite number 4, Saturday hours as well. N2 Cryotherapy, n2cryo.com. We do a radio show on the internet, World Wide Web at livinlargelarry.com. Just about each weekday morning, live on YouTube, and it's a podcast later on from the Red Line Computer Studios in West Billings. We're across from Goodwill off of King and 29th West, the Red Line Computer Studios.
Livin Large Larry live from the Red Line Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry live.
Replay of segments on livinlargelarry.com on the show from Keystone Mortgage Company here in Billings to purchase, refinance, investment properties, and a brand new place to call home for work. Keystone Mortgage downtown now across from the pub station, 2442 First Avenue North. You can find them on Facebook. Type in the keyword Keystone Mortgage Company. You aren't just a number, you're our number one priority. I think you'll love the changes at Keystone Mortgage. In the Red Line Computer Studios, Livin Large Larry live, livinlargelarry.com. We're on YouTube this morning, live. That becomes a podcast in just a little bit here. And Bobby Gray with all kinds of blinds. Nice. Bobby was telling me, which we'll get to, Bobby was telling me the story of, well, his latest story, and it has nothing to do with water or on any ocean, which we'll get to in a second. But how have things been going with all kinds of blinds this summer?
It's going good. We've been busy. I've seen quite a increase in motorization.
What does that mean?
That means your blinds can be run from a remote control, motorized. You can even have it set up with the fanciest is that you can run it from your iPhone.
Now, do you guys program those accessories yourself through all kinds of blinds?
If you're doing your regular remote controls, maybe it's a wall switch or a regular like a TV remote,
sure.
Or you can have a timer where say it wakes you up in the morning instead of an alarm, your blinds open, that kind of thing. It comes pre-programmed from the factory. It's not hard to reprogram it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little more difficult for somebody my age, but
kind of like programming the new thermostats that are out, possibly.
Yeah, it's like that. All the way to get integrated into your smart home, where you can program it to, say, in the afternoon when the sun is coming across, you can have it where your blinds come down to a certain point or all the way, and they have light sensors, and then it might adjust your internal lights and air conditioning or heating, depending on the time of year, to keep the same efficient level of energy use in the house. And that I work with another company who's the techie people who set up smart homes. And so when somebody wants that, then I work together with another company.
But our resource will be through all kinds of blinds.
Yes, and currently I'm working with CK Tech, and they're a really knowledgeable group of people. The owner and his wife work together, but he worked for the government installing and fixing, modifying electronics on our spy planes. So if he can figure that out,
he can figure anything out.
So motorization has been very popular. I can even got a plantation shutter that's motorized with a solar panel. And so then you have, instead of having to run hardwire electricity, you have a battery tube of rechargeable AA's, and then there's a small, maybe, it's probably about 10 inches long by 2 inches wide, solar panel that can be mounted in the window.
And how long have you been doing motorization for your blinds? Just recently? Is that new this year?
No, that's probably been 10 years maybe.
But you're just getting influx right now.
I'm just now seeing influx of it. Done a few houses in the last couple of weeks in between the trip.
The travels?
But, and then was at a Home Builders Association meeting last night and had more than one person inquiring, and they were surprised, as you are, that I've been doing motorization.
Yeah.
They thought that there was one company in town that knew how to do it, and I'm like, well, I've been doing it for close to 10 years.
Is that a competitive market in the Billings market, motorization for Billings?
I don't think it's competitive. It's just becoming more popular. The Parade of Homes is gearing up, and I'm doing at least 2 or 3 parade homes this year with the blinds, and there's been a lot of talk about motorizing part of the project. Problem is, it does cost a little more.
Sure, yeah. Technology does.
So when somebody's building a house, the last thing they thought about budgeting is their window treatments. It's the very last thing.
Well, I would budget my blinds and go through all kinds of blinds, but I don't think that my mindset would be on motorization until now.
Yeah, it's really cool. You have no strings, no cords, none of that. You can be sitting there, you're going to go sit down and watch some TV, and you can just reach over and hit a button and all the blinds close, and then you grab your other remote and start watching your football game or whatever. So it's pretty neat. You have less mechanical problems because you're not having the strings and cords that would typically break, that you're pulling on to open and close them. Your cats aren't eating them up.
Right.
I had a job yesterday. It was very difficult because there were 2 cats that were, there was catnip laying all over the place. So they were like they were on meth or something.
Yeah.
They were acting really freaky. And they were jumping in the air, leaping off the couch, attacking the cords while I was installing. And then even one of them came up and was stealing my brackets. So when I got to the end of the job, I was short 2 brackets and just searched the house, and I still never found them. They were grabbing the brackets, but the cats will destroy your blind cords, and then they break. So motorization is kind of cool.
I've often wondered, since I've been doing Bobby Gray, all kinds of blinds. What kind of blinds do you have in your house? Like in the living room? Do you
have cordless honeycomb pleated type shades in my living room.
Do you show off different blinds in your home, like in your bedroom? Do you have something different in the living room?
No, not really. The bathroom looks really amazing with plantation shutters. A white plantation shutter against maybe some white tile and a clawfoot tub or something. It's incredible. So that's what I did in our master bathroom. The rest of the house I did the honeycomb pleated shades, but what I did was I used 3 different manufacturers mixed in my house with different features and options in my own home. And part of it was so that I could check it out and be a little bit more accurate when I'm with a customer and they're going, well, this is important to me. I can go, well, let's go with this company because I've got those in my house, and they typically don't do that problem, or they're really good at, like one company, when you're looking at the cordless, they've got a different technology they've patented, and the way in which it works is different, so you pick it up and it's just like butter. It just is beautiful. Where another company might have more selection of fabrics, but it doesn't work quite, it's a little rough.
Sure.
So I just went ahead and just put an assortment of 3 different companies throughout my house, and I now, for what I want, wish I had stuck with all one company instead of the other. For the smoothness, I like to be able to reach over and move the blind, and it just is smooth.
At least you know, though. So, as the owner of all kinds of blinds, testing different manufacturers when you go out and upsell or sell to customers the right one that fits their home.
Right. And I manufactured them for over 20 years. I know a whole lot about the mechanisms and what's important so they're not going to wear out. And they all, any that you do, I don't care who it is, you'll have certain, every now and then you get a batch that's a lemon, and you've got to go through a lot to try and deal with the customer who's frustrated, and I'm frustrated because I've got a lemon batch, but it doesn't matter who it is, that can happen. The one with the cats is actually a whole set of blinds I was giving her to replace the old ones.
Because the cat has to work properly.
No, she didn't have the cats then. Then it was just a lemon batch that didn't work right. But the trick is to get back there and take care of it as quick as you can. And I do that. I do a lot of jobs. I can't say that there's probably been 2 in the last year that just went sideways, and I did everything I could, and the customer was still unhappy with me. And I tried my best. But the more you can find out about the company that made them and how they're going to handle the repair helps, because it all looks like I'm the one who is not getting the job done when I'm waiting on the company. But if you go through a box store, then there isn't anybody fighting for you. You end up with a batch of blinds you can't open, or they're stuck halfway up and crooked, and they're not cheap. And you've gone through all the trouble of picking out the colors and getting them all in, and then they kind of don't work right. So you want somebody local to be able to go to bat for you and take care of it. If I can't fix it, which usually I can because I used to make them, so I know how to fix them if I know how to make them.
Do you ever act as an interior designer, decorator, with your experience? When you go into a new house and you have that homeowner that doesn't quite know what he or she wants in the living room or the kitchen or leading out to the back porch.
I do. I'm not. I definitely say I'm not trained in it, and I'm not licensed in it. I'm not a designer.
Right.
But I've worked with a lot of designers who would design this house with their furniture and their window treatments and everything, and they would buy from me, even though they could buy them. They're artsy people, but they're not techie people, or mechanical-minded. So then they would buy them through me, and so I'd listen and pay attention when they're sitting there picking out the colors with the customer, and I'm just kind of the Wikipedia guy standing there waiting for them to ask me a question about, can I put that there? And so I've learned a lot. I try to dress pretty basic, jeans and a white shirt I can't miss. Sure. I'm not really good at it, but I do know certain themes of how to put the colors together and how they do it, and what to do when in doubt and you don't have any idea. So I do a bit of that, yes.
Well, you used the word efficiency the first part of our talk today, and I think that a lot of people are efficiency-minded, and if I had you in my home and we were discussing blinds, knowing your experience, I think I'd ask you for advice more than once on color, on efficiency of the sun in the living room at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think I would ask those questions. I think as a consumer, we would ask the experts.
Yeah, and you can go to my website, allkindsofblindsmt.com, and go to some links on there, and there's my suppliers. Some of them have done a huge amount of energy, work, money in staging different views, different kitchens with pictures and blinds in different living rooms, and you can go through and get ideas of how to put colors together. And then there's a new, I don't know what you call it, I'm older, I don't know what it is, but it's called Houzz, Houzz, and it's kind of a mixture of Facebook and Yellow Pages and everything all tied together, but you can go on there and put in whether it be backyard furniture to kitchens, bathrooms, related to woodwork, cabinets, anything. And it is a massive amount of beautiful pictures and ideas. And when you go and pull up a picture, and it's a living room and it has a TV and a couch and whatever, it will tell you what color the paint is in that picture.
Oh, right, okay.
So then you can go and duplicate those pictures for and get your own vision. And then you can click on the pros near me, and like I'm on there.
Right.
And so then it can click to who can help you accomplish that picture. And so it might mention all kinds of blinds, could do the window treatments, and it might mention a furniture store in town that carries that furniture that's in the picture.
So that's cool. That's helpful to me as a consumer.
Yeah, so that's a way to, as far as the design idea,
right,
putting colors together, you can go to something like Houzz.
H-U-Z-Z.
H-O-U-Z-Z.
H-O-U-Z-Z.
Yes.
.com.
And then you can get an app for your phone. I have an app on my phone. And you just hit it and you go straight into Houzz. And you can sit there. You could be in a store getting ready to buy something and pull up Houzz and walk through Hobby Lobby and go, oh, there's that rooster ceramic thing in the picture. I need that. And duplicate high-end designer stuff off of your phone.
Well, it might not be for everybody, but the way you described it, that's something that because I don't like the anxiety of trying to piece everything together when I move into a new home. So that would be a great tool for me, I think, personally.
Yeah, I can't do it. But if you're talking about putting blinds for what you need and what color, I can help with that. If you want to take it further, then I pull up my app and say, hey, you should check this out.
It's a tool. It becomes a tool for your customers too. So all kinds of blinds. In buildings, all kinds of blinds. MT.com. Bobby Gray with us. A recent adventure. We didn't talk about Bobby Gray's adventures in his past, usually in the sea, the open sea. But let's talk about this ginormous motorhome you bought and how that all came to be.
This story isn't as interesting as
I heard the first part. I think it is
going out on a sailboat in the middle of the ocean, but I call this a land yacht instead of a yacht on the sea.
Pretty much.
And we were shopping for a fifth wheel RV, and for our budget, we don't have a big budget. We're trying to find one with a bunkhouse in the back for the kids.
Sure.
And drove to Helena, Bozeman, shopped, and they're pretty ratty. The decals peeling off and stuff. And we had heard that if you go east, like way east, the prices are a lot better. And there's people who will go out to Wisconsin and buy a motorhome and then bring it back and make money. And so we went, what the heck, and started shopping on Craigslist and Illinois and Michigan and Ohio and stuff, and my wife found one on eBay, which I've never bought anything on eBay in my life.
Sometimes it's scary on eBay.
And all of a sudden I'm buying a expensive RV. And so we just loaded up in my pickup truck and very abruptly took off and drove to Sterling, Virginia, which is about 10 minutes from Dulles Airport in Washington, D.C.
A 2-3 day drive, maybe?
It was a 4-day drive. Okay. It's 2,200 miles one way. So we went for it. And an adventure going out. I don't get speeding tickets. And my truck doesn't go 80 miles an hour.
What kind of truck is it?
It's a GMC Duramax diesel.
So it hauls this big motorhome.
Yeah, and I pulled livestock trailers.
Okay.
I've always dabbled in cows and pigs and things. And I mean, it'll go the speed limit, but I don't want to push it. It's got 240,000 miles. Anyway, so we head out there. We get there. We go, this thing looks like a good deal, so I buy it. I pull out into rush hour Washington, D.C. traffic with this 38-footer behind me and in my old truck, and there's no brakes, no brake lights, and no turn signals, and we're in, and there's if you leave, there's construction is all over our freeways here.
Right.
The president created jobs by hiring by dumping $1 billion into building roads, and that's his trick, if you will. So everywhere you go, you're dealing with barricades.
Now you're in a strange location,
and barricades everywhere with this giant RV. And it's
you mentioned it's 38 foot?
Yes.
Okay.
And they don't get much bigger than that for a fifth wheel. So we ended up finding a mechanic, and it was just a computer module in my truck, and they fixed that. It wasn't the RV. And then we took off, and we get to Ohio, and then when I'd set up the RV the night before, the front, they call it landing gear, the electric jacks that go down, had sunk. Even though I put a block down, they had sunk down into this soft sod.
Even on the block.
Yes, the whole thing sank down, so when I went to try and raise them, I couldn't get it high enough to get back onto my truck. And so we had a little bit of a drama there. And then we decided that I will never go back to Chicago ever again in my whole life, because we came through it going there. The traffic is so bad that you can't even comprehend it. The murder rate is higher than Afghanistan and Iraq combined. You hear about Chicago, but today there were probably 6 people murdered and 57 people injured by gunfire.
On Father's Day in Chicago, 13 people died. Killed.
It's incredibly bad now, and it's like a war zone. We're driving through, and so anyways, I swore I wouldn't go there, and if you look on a map, almost all major freeways in that part of the country head there. It looks like an old wagon wheel, because it all goes to Chicago. Wow. So we headed up through Michigan and went over the top of Lake Michigan to the Upper Peninsula of Mackinac, and that was beautiful. And then I'm coming down through, right as you get to Green Bay. We're in a hurry, and I don't know if people have diesel trucks here, know that you go to the green pump.
Yeah.
That's the diesel.
The green-handled pump is always diesel, yeah.
Yes. Well, we pull in, and we've discovered that in Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin,
the Midwest,
they're yellow.
Okay.
Well, I'm pulling in. We all need to go to the bathroom. We hurry up and trying to park this big thing to get gas, diesel. I pull up to the pump. I'm like with my wife. I'm like, okay, where's the green pump? Oh, there it is. Pull up real quick. Okay, well, BP is a gas station.
Yeah, I've heard of BP, yeah.
Okay, well, BP, their logo is green, so all their pumps are green, except for the diesel pumps, which are yellow. And so I pull in real quick, hurry up and swipe my card, stick the thing in to fill my truck.
The green-handled pump.
The green-handled. We go in, use the bathroom. By the time I come out, it's done pumping, pull it out, get and drive off. And we get about 10 miles away, driving down the freeway with this big RV, and we lose power and go off the side of the road. And it's a sheer drop-off one direction, and my truck, we're barely off the road, and it's a Sunday. And in the Midwest, everybody's into car racing, and there was a big car race last Sunday, Michigan something, and so
500?
I think it might have been a 500. Nobody wanted to come and tow us off the freeway. I was with Good Sam's on the phone with 2 bars on my phone, and eventually Good Sam's gave up, and they couldn't tow me. And that's like AAA, and so they told me to call 911 before I became a 911 incident, because we're on the side of the freeway.
Of course you are, yeah.
Really close. And so then I called the police and immediately told them, I'm sorry, I'm not a 911, I'm not an emergency, but I'm gonna be soon. And so then the police came, and my wife and kids got a ride in the back of a police car, and they towed our rig in my truck, and we got it fixed, and they dropped the fuel tank and cleaned it up, and there was no harm done, so we were blessed there that we didn't lose our engine.
So all the handles were green except one yellow, which was the diesel at BP.
Well, actually, there was more than one yellow. You'll see maybe 2, 3, or 4 pumps have some diesel, maybe the end pumpers.
Right.
So it was just swapped. And so I didn't pay attention. I was stupid. When you're dumb, you got to be tough. And I've learned that a long time ago, and I was dumb. And so, anyways, that was a little bit. It's not as fun as stories on the sea, but
you said that twice now, and I'm sorry. Every story now, even off of the water, I'm like stressed out right now. I'm like rigid. No, that's exciting.
You got a silly speeding ticket in Fargo.
Yeah, well, North Dakota. How fast are you going? I'm curious.
Well, I was going like 68. Okay, my truck, I told you I wasn't going the speed limit.
You're hauling your motor home.
So 4,500 miles of driving last 2 weeks, and I was under the speed limit 98% of the time because my truck and this rig couldn't go that fast.
Well, what is the speed limit in North Dakota?
It's 75 or something, but we pull in right in the center city part to get fuel, and then I pull out and there's this long on-ramp that goes downhill, and I'm like, cool, I can get up to speed without
I'm feeling you.
So I get up to speed and I pull out on the freeway, and then right there there's a highway patrol sitting under the bridge. I was able to be speeding for the 2% of the trip that I was able to reach the speed limit. Happened to be right then when there was a highway patrol.
He nailed you.
Yeah, he was very nice. He didn't, I don't think he believed me when he asked where we were going. You know, I've got Chinese adopted children in the back seat, handicapped, and so it's a little bit eclectic, my world.
Sure.
And then we're sitting there, this old couple with these little kids, and where are you going? Oh, we're driving out to D.C. to buy an RV. And he's looking at me like, yeah. But he was nice, and we paid the ticket online, and it was only $45. It wasn't drama. But anyways,
that's reasonable.
Of all that, and he swore I didn't have a seatbelt on, and I don't like seatbelts, but I actually did have one on that day. But when you should wear seatbelts,
He didn't believe you?
No, he said, I saw you didn't have a seatbelt on. I said, I did have a seatbelt on.
You weren't hooked in when you came to the car?
No, I was still hooked in. I still had it. He said, well, I think you hooked it after. So anyways, he let it go. He said, well, my eyes must have played. Wow. It's true. When I grew up, seatbelts weren't even in cars.
Me too. Well, they were
have them.
They were in cars when I was growing up, but people didn't use them.
Right. There was a lap belt, like
and
that was it. I know when you come home with your newborn, for me, your kids weren't in car. You laid your baby on the seat next to you.
I feel naked without a seatbelt on now, I'll be honest with you.
It makes me crazy that the thing is making me. So anyways, I wear it as much as I can.
You should wear it more, but...
Yeah, I should. I agree.
So to me, that's an all kinds of blinds adventure, off the water. So.
We left calling it an adventure. I'm like, Lonnie, let's just do an adventure. We need an adventure. Let's just go for it. Whatever it is, if we break down, they'll tow us and we'll pull out a credit card. We'll be fine.
Did you guys go home after your adventure, after the Chicago story and the D.C. deal? Did you get home and think about, that was an adventure?
Yeah, and then every night I'm on my laptop after the kids are down looking at sailboats and other people who are posting videos of cruising in exotic locations, because there's blogs out there.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
Well, it's not good for me to be thinking like that, because I can't afford to just leave my business and go cruising in the world. So,
isn't there an off season to all kinds of blinds? Is there an off season for blinds? Or not?
Yeah, it slows down.
February?
The Christmas time, December, January, February.
Well, that's when they hit the open seas then.
Yeah, we went down to Cancun last year, and we're going to Belize this year.
Perfect. So you have another adventure coming up.
Yes.
All right. That was cool. All kinds of blinds. MT.com. Bobby Gray. Good stuff.
Thank you.
I'm just curious about something, because I replay your talks with me. Just got one of these talk ones. I'm curious.
I'm scared to find out.
No.
A while.
Well, you pay for this, so it doesn't matter. 20s. You and I talked for about 28 minutes. Thanks for your time.
And I have my Vanuatu naked native story already, too.
No, see, but you come every 2 or 3 weeks, so that story can wait till next time. Carrie's Massage. Okay, a place for a massage. Carrie's Massage. Check her out. And she's at 928 Broadwater, Suite number 204. Been open for a couple of months now, and offering great services: Swedish, deep tissue, hot stone, prenatal massage. Not every massage therapist does prenatal massage. Carrie's Massage does. And if you're a new customer, and you get $10 off any offer, any service at Carrie's Massage as available for you. Carrie's Massage, you can check them out on Facebook, and the walk-ins are fine. 928 Broadwater, and going Suite number 204 for Carrie's Massage. $10 off.
Livin Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry live.
Couple of cool days and a pretty mild week, actually. Our forecast from Top Sandwich Company, locally owned in Billings, across from Shopco with happy hour each weekday evening from 5 until 8 p.m. And all sandwiches at that time at Top's Sandwich Company are $5. Top Sandwich Company across from Shopco in Billings. So between 65 and 70 for a couple of days here, and closer to the upper 70s to mid to upper 80s towards the mid to latter part of the week. And a chance for some showers and thunderstorms each late afternoon, evening as well. Cools things down a little bit from the last couple of weeks. Get an expanded look at the forecast. Log on to livinlargelarry.com. Click on the weather tab at the websites. Forecast brought to you by Top's Sandwich Company, locally owned in Billings, across from Shopco off of King Avenue West. Top's Sandwich Company. Free delivery, even one sandwich at Top's Sandwich Company.
Hey, look at news. I'm Livin Large Larry. A large Montana coal plant serving utility customers across the Pacific Northwest has agreed to shut down 2 of its 4 units by mid-2022 under a deal with environmentalists. The Sierra Club and Montana Environmental Center sued the plant's owners in 2013 over alleged air pollution violations. Tuesday's announcement follows a wave of coal plant closures that transformed the utility industry in the United States. Colstrip employs, by the way, about 360 people. We utilize some of our sources here, ktvq.com, color8.com, the Billings Gazette for the gathering of our news, and livinlargelarry.com. Wildlife advocates say they'll sue in an attempt to force the U.S. government to designate Yellowstone National Park bison as a threatened or endangered species. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service in January rejected 2 petitions to grant federal protections to the roughly 4,900 Yellowstone bison. Officials said then the herd's population was stable. Western Watersheds Project, Buffalo Field Campaign, and Friends of Animals Monday filed a 60-day notice of their intent to sue the Fish and Wildlife Service and the U.S. Department of Interior over that decision. Millions of bisons once roamed the Great Plains, but the Yellowstone population is the largest remaining wild population. Joseph Lester Deschamps, convicted in Lewis and Clark County of deliberate homicide, has died in Montana State Prison in Deer Lodge. Prison officials said in a press release that Deschamps, 56 years of age, died on Monday following an extended illness. He was sentenced back in March of 2000 to a 50-year sentence for the November 1999 murder of his nephew, James Azure. Court documents state that on November 6, 1999, Azure and Deschamps were arguing. The argument escalated, and Azure struck Deschamps. Deschamps grabbed a knife and stabbed Azure. Deschamps admitted stabbing him, but told police that he was protecting himself. He died at the age of 56. Yellowstone County Commissioners meeting was at times contentious on Tuesday as Commissioners Bill Kennedy and John Austin dug in on separate sides of a gas tax proposal. There's a long, involved story. If you want to check out the entire story, go to ktvq.com. But Commissioner Jim Reno was absent from the meeting, but Kennedy, a proponent of putting a gas tax to voters, said a 2-cent gas excise tax could generate millions of dollars for the county and the city. In Kennedy's remarks prior to the vote, he said the gas tax could be a proactive generation of funds for roads in Lockwood, work on the 21-mile road north of Broadview, help Laurel with infrastructure needs, as well as assist the completion of the inner belt loop in Billings and the north bypass connection from Lockwood to the Heights. Kennedy did not receive a second to his motion, ending possibility of the gas tax appearing on the November ballot. Austin, who adamantly opposed such an idea, scolded Kennedy and called the agenda item inappropriate, citing a lack of internal input on the issue. An endless number of articles about jobs for millennials can be found in publications like Time Magazine and Forbes. They often list the best places for the generation to live, work in cities like New York and Seattle. However, more and more millennials are making the move to Montana and are finding plenty of opportunities. Millennials, the generation that was born in the 90s and early 2000s, the generation that is graduating from college now and trying to find the perfect job in the perfect place. The Choose Montana initiative is all about keeping the Montana millennials in state and attracting the ones from out of state. According to millennialmarketing.com, one of the most important things to this generation is the opportunity for entrepreneurship. In the coming months, Choose Montana will be stepping up recruitment and available resources through symposiums and summits in hopes that millennials can find themselves in the last best place, Montana. Glance at news at livinlargelarry.com.
Catch my afternoon show weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. here in Billings, KGHL Radio, AM 790 and FM 94.7 FM, real classic country, KGHL 3 to 6. Appreciate listening. Mighty790.com